In today's video, we're going to be going over the pros and cons of the new Motorola Moto Edge 2024 edition. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. We have the Moto Edge 2024 edition right here. This just released at many different carriers, and in this video we're going to be talking about some pros and cons on this device. So we're going to go ahead and start off with some of the things I like about this device, and then after that we're going to talk about some things that I don't like about this device. So the first pro about this device has to be that if you switch to Metro by T-Mobile right now, you guys can actually get this device 100% free. And if you really want to, you can open a line at Metro by T-Mobile and get this device for $99. So this is a great port-in device. This is a great new number device. So definitely take a hold of this $549 device that you can get for retail for only $99, or even free if you guys are porting a number over. I thought that was a very, very good deal. And I guess retail for some reason has the same specs and everything else, same 256 gigs, same Snapdragon 7S Gen 2, all that type of stuff. It looks like it's retail for $299 at Metro by T-Mobile. So yeah, definitely a lot of crazy deals at Metro and regular T-Mobile as well for this device. Second pro is going to be the beautiful design on this phone. Now I have used this device for a few days and there are some cons to this device, but I feel like overall this design is really, really nice. I really do enjoy this. It is very light, so definitely know that this is going to be a lighter phone. However, it does not feel like a toy. I did see some articles that say this felt like a toy, but honestly, this phone feels premium. It's an aluminum design on its chassis and you got that eco leather back. I just feel like overall this is a very nice, sexy, business casual design right here. I do really like this design and I like the color as well. And if you guys don't like it for whatever reason, you guys can get a case on Amazon. Other than that though, the form factor is very nice as well. I feel like for most people it's going to be pretty comfortable in the hand. No sharp edges or corners or anything like that. Overall, form factor and design is a pro for me. The one thing, however, I don't like about the design is if your hands are really greasy, the eco leather back is going to be able to pick that up, especially since this is a darker color on the back of this device. Your handprints and fingerprints and stuff like that after a while may be showing on the back of this device, so just a heads up to people out there. Our third pro is going to be that we have a clean operating system. Now, as you guys know, with most Motorola devices, this is a pretty much stock Android device. We're running Android 14 on this device, and it's a pretty nice experience. We also get some great features that are actually useful, like chop for flashlight and twist for camera right here, and many other Moto actions that you guys know about. And I feel like overall, a vanilla experience, not too complicated out there, not a huge skin over this device, and I definitely enjoy it. It absolutely reminds me of a regular Google or Pixel device. My next pro is going to be the OLED display on this. We have a big, beautiful display with not having huge bezels on this device, so we have a decent screen to body ratio on this device. 6.6 inch display, OLED display at that, and we have a 144 hertz display on this. So playing video games, watching movies, looking at social media is going to be a very nice experience on this display. We have some very inky blacks and we have some very sharp and nice colors on this device. So honestly, that's probably the nicest thing I like about this phone is we have a decent screen to body ratio and it looks very, very good for a mid-range phone. Our next pro is going to be our all-day battery life. With this device, you are absolutely going to get an all-day battery life. We have a 5,000 milliamp battery inside of here, a big boy battery inside of here, and even with the heat going on over here in California, I haven't really felt any heating. I definitely wanted to bring that up. With the Snapdragon 7S Gen 2, I haven't really been feeling any heat from the battery or anything like that, so that's definitely a good sign. The other thing is we do have a 68 watt charging rate on this device. Beautiful to see. I think Samsung's flagship devices only have like 45 watts, so crazy to see that on here. However, we don't have a charger inside the box, so we'll talk about that later. The second thing, 15 watt wireless charging on here. So great to see that as well, because if you go over to the other $500 phone in this price category, you can go to the Pixel 8a and that only has 7.5 watts. So great to see a device that you can get for free from Metro by T-Mobile has a better wireless charging rate. Next pro is our IP68 water and dust protection on this device. A lot of devices in this price range don't have IP68. So great to see it on here. And I'd say last but not least, I do like that we have 8 gigabytes of RAM in here stock. But the cooler thing is that we have 256 gigabytes of internal storage in this device stock. Now, it sucks that we can't expand our storage if we wanted to hold a bunch of photos and videos and stuff like that. So no micro SD card support. But as far as like our base storage on a device, I feel like 256 gigs is super ample for a mid-range device. All right, so getting into the cons, everybody, and this is gonna be the biggest con. We're gonna go ahead and start off with a home run of a con right here, if I can say so. But the first one is going to be, obviously, we only have 2 years of operating system updates and 3 years of security patch updates, and they're going to be bi-monthly security patches. Now, I feel like for most people, I feel like a lot of people switch their phone out every 3 years, so this isn't going to be the biggest thing in the world for the average consumer. However, there are a lot of people that hold their phone for a longer period of time, and they need a lot more software support than just 2 years. So this is definitely the first con, I'd say, especially if you're comparing this to many other mid-range devices like the A series devices we get from Samsung. You're seeing 4 years on those. Some Google devices, you're seeing up to 7 years around the same price tag of software support, which is honestly crazy. This device only has 2 years of OS updates and 3 years of security patches, so that's definitely a downside to this device. Our next con is no always on display. I keep getting questions about the always on display. We don't have always on display on this device. So that's one of the things that I'm sure a lot of you are looking for in a phone, and that's something that we are not going to be getting on this device. So if we go into our settings right here, you cannot find always on display. There's no always on display in here. So that kind of sucks. Also, not the fastest fingerprint sensor in the world on this device. I was hoping it was going to be a little bit faster. Our next con, no charger inside the box. Now, we talked about this before, and it seems like Apple started that trend, and then Samsung, and then Motorola and a bunch of other companies tagged along, and they don't provide any charger inside the box anymore. But I'm not going to stop saying that this is a con. There's a lot of people that switch from iOS and they go to any other Android device for that matter, and they don't have a charger inside of the box. And it's even bigger right here because this offers 68-watt charging. So imagine all of the people that go out on Amazon and they buy a generic like 15 or 20-watt charger, and they're not even taking away the full capabilities of the 68-watt charging rate on here, the turbo power charging. And that's the average consumer. A lot of the average consumer is never going to be able to experience that type of charging rate because the OEM charger is not inside the box. So of course, for the people, I would say this is absolutely a con. And last but not least, I would say at a $549 price tag, $600 after everything's said and done with your taxes and fees, I would say this device honestly isn't that great for that type of money. I feel like there are many other phones that you can go to, and there's just many other options. It's super competitive right now. I wouldn't say this is a terrible phone at the price tag and the specifications that we have on it. I know there are some people out there like the Motorola elitists that absolutely love Motorola devices and they love the Moto Actions and all that type of stuff. But for a lot of people out there, they don't have any brand loyalty. So, you know, they can go elsewhere and pick up a Pixel device or a Samsung device or whatever. And I just have to say that's just a con in itself, that there's just so much other competition out there, especially if you go to places like Swappa. You can get the S24 for close to this price. So, you know, that's all I'm gonna say about this device so far. These were the pros and cons on the Moto Edge 2024. Obviously, if you guys are getting this device from Metro and from any other carrier that's giving you an amazing deal like $99 or even for free, you're getting a great deal. Really, I'm only talking about the people that paid $549 out of pocket for this device. That's the type of crowd I'm talking about in reference to like competition and stuff like that. But if you got this device for that price, you got a great phone right here. And yeah, those were my pros and cons on the Motorola Moto Edge 2024 edition. If you guys have any other pros and cons, leave them in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear about them. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. This has been Safan from TechRight. Peace out, Tech Gang.